Welcome to my second ever video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to take apart or put on the Raptor suspension. We're going to be doing it on the right side, and then I already did the left side yesterday. I was having a bit of trouble with that, so I just wanted to get one side done just so I can properly show you guys how to do it. First, you're going to have to jack up the truck, and since this truck is really high, I got to use two wood blocks. I recommend using just one big one, but as you can see, it's kind of off, so we're gonna have to fix that right now. You want to make sure you also have some jack stands, which I am gonna end up putting on right now, and I'll show you guys right now when it's done. All right, here we are. It doesn't exactly touch it, but you just need to make sure you have a jack stand there just in case this does end up failing. And right now, first thing you'll need to do, take off the wheel. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. See, just make sure it's spinning so it's easy to take off. All right, now that we got the wheel off, the first thing you will need to do is remove these brackets right here. This is a 10mm bolt. This one's already out, but it goes right here. You'll need to remove that one. And also, you're gonna have to take out these caliper bolts back here. So this 1 and 2, I think they're 22mm. And then what I do recommend doing is hanging the caliper, or putting something so that it's not falling. So I'm going to show you guys how it looks after. Alrighty, I got the caliper all hung up right now. There's not too much tension on the brake line. And then right here, the rotor can just come off now. And then we can start actually taking apart the rest. So for what I'm doing, I don't need to remove the dust shield or the lower control arm. So I'm going to just leave that bolted in. And right now, you need to release tension from this because there might be tension. Before there wasn't for me on the other side. And pretty much will pop out. This will come down. And then we would need to remove the tie rod end, the stabilizer link. And then from there we can start taking the shock out. So I just removed the nut. Right now, I'm just hitting it with this because I don't have a fucking one of those plastic hammers or whatever they're called. Rubber hammers. So as you can see, releasing tension right there, and it's just gonna pop out. So from right there, all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna push in the ta-da, just like that. Shouldn't be too bad, shouldn't pop out at you. And from there, we're gonna move the tie rod end, or not remove, just push it out. Stabilizer bar and the lower control arm and knuckles should drop. So now that we got the tie rod end out, the stabilizer bar out, we did put some pressure on the lower control arm nut to actually relieve the pressure from the stabilizer bar. So now I dropped a little lower. I'm not sure if I should go out, but pretty much if you really want to drop the control arm completely without removing the nut, loosen these or take them out completely. But you don't really have to take them out, just loosen them. I'm gonna think right now, so I'm gonna see if I could leave it like this or I have to drop it more. But I'm gonna go ahead and remove the nuts from the shock on the top and try to just play with it, see if I can take it out. But your best plan is to just loosen the lower control arm nuts. I mean the ones that connect to the actual body. All right, as you can see, we dropped it by just loosening the bolts. Right now it's kind of just hanging. I was gonna just try to not remove the shock, but I guess I fucking have to. And with these shocks, they are really heavy, so that's the one thing you need to watch out for. But yeah, everything's disconnected. Pull it out and then just put the shims in, which are, oh, it's kind of a mess over there, don't. But just put the shims up there. All right, now we have the shock in with the shims. We got the larger side sticking out and the skinnier side sticking out this way on the actual shock. So that's how you do it. Now we just need to bolt everything back up. I'm gonna need to jack this up so I can go in, put the bolts in, and just start putting everything back together. Should be pretty simple. Definitely finished quicker than the other side. This side only took me about an hour and a half. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start bolting everything back, and I'll show you guys. Okay, well, I kind of did that pretty quick, but pretty much first you put when you're putting everything back together, you got the shock on. Tighten this bolt up, tying the top bolts up. I have one loose right now. The other two are pretty tight though. Then you want to connect your tie rod in first. That stabilizes the knuckle. Then you want to take lift it up on the jack right here at this point, or like at this point right here. You don't want to lift it up right here, because then it'll lift up the whole truck. This point, it lifts up it compresses the shock, and it lifts the knuckle up without lifting the truck. So it gives you room for the stabilizer bar. You got to keep going until it finally the stabilizer bar can finally go in. Then up here, take off the jack, put that in as best as you can, like it's gonna be a little bit, and then right there you jack this up at the bottom again, and just keep going, and it'll pop in, and that's when you add the nut. And that's pretty much it so far. You can see how close it is right now, but that's just on full droop. It should be fine, but go ahead and show you guys once that bolt's tightened up. That should be it. Just gotta put everything back together. All right, the suspension is now complete. As you can see, here we go, we're done. Everything's bolted back in. The last thing I needed to bolt in was the upper control arm, but we got that done. Actually, I think I need to bolt in the nut. I was trying to do it from up here, but you can't. You can only do 2 on each side. You can only bolt 2 on each side of the shocks from inside the engine bay, which makes it easy to get an impact in there. The other ones, you kind of have to use a wrench or whatever, like small tool you have to get in there. But pretty much should be it. I'm gonna go ahead and put the wheel on. I think it does sit a little taller and a little wider with the shims because it changes the stance of the shock. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the brake back on, and then put the wheel, and then we're all set. All right, so now we're under. These 2 bolts are the ones you need to put in, right here and right here. This is the last one we need to put in right here. And I actually do need to bolt in the lower control arm. Both sides, just need to tighten it up. That side as well. But pretty much that's it. This is tight. Everything is tight already. And yeah, let me go ahead and tighten those up and show you. But pretty much I just wanted to show you guys that. This bolt right here, and the bolt up there. All right, we just dropped off the baby Raptor to La Schwab here with my sister. She's driving. Don't do that corny shit though. That's just from middle school. Well, don't fucking put the phone on my face. You're 28 years old right now. Anyways, I thought I needed a spring compressor for the shocks, but I guess I don't. I was using it last night, but I didn't even need to do it. I was just pumping up the control arm at the wrong spot, so I was pumping up the entire truck. But some things you will need for if you have no tools and you want to do it yourself, it's going to be $600 for the tools that you will need for if you want to lift it yourself with the baby Raptor suspension. First, you'll need an impact. I preferably went with Milwaukee. It was only $200 for 1/2 impact. It was like the medium size one is 500 to 800 foot-pounds of torque, and that one was $200 with the battery and the charger and the actual gun itself. Then you could go to Harbor Freight, get the 10 to 32 impact set, or whatever they're called. And then what else? Then you'll need just a ratchet, preferably 1/2, and then a 3/8, I believe, ratchet with from 5 to, I don't know, however much it goes, but mainly you need 8mm and 10mm. But the 10 to 32 impact set, you could use the 10mm from there, so you only need an 8mm. Anyways, You also need a jack, preferably the bigger ones, the 3-ton or the 3-ton ones, and then some jack stands, same size. Also, you will need like a big chunk of wood. The actual jack itself was 160. Jack stands, like, you can get them for like 60 bucks. Then you can get a baby jack for $85 with tiny jack stands, so you can actually pump up the lower control arm while you have the other jack there. I don't really like taking it off and just leaving the jack stands there, but you can do that if you don't want to spend that extra money. But pretty much that'll be it for the tools. Oh, you also need a wrench. Not a wrench. Yeah, a wrench. To hold some bolts into place, because you need to hold it one and then impact it with the other on the other side. Preferably you want to do this with 2 people. It's a lot. You can do it with 1 person. I was able to do it in 2 hours, like an hour and a half for one side, and the other side took me 6 hours because I did it my first time taking it apart again. I was like, I don't know what I was doing because the shims were kind of weird. But second time, the other side took me an hour and a half to 2 hours roughly. But if you have another person, it can definitely be finished faster, because just another hand, because that shock is like 60-80 pounds, and you got to lift that. Then you got to put the shim on there, so you can only hold it with one hand. Then you got to put in nuts as well. So it's just a pain in the ass. So I recommend doing it with 2 people. So truck is aligned now. Riding way smoother now. One thing is, you're probably not gonna have this issue. But since the Raptor upper control arms that I bought were a little older, 50,000 miles, the bushing kind of went out, or I need to tighten the upper control arm more. But they're telling me that pretty much it needs to get tighter. But they were able to do the alignment by tightening it, but they just told me to like replace it or just check it out, make sure everything is good on it. Not everything's good, but I don't really know how to explain it, but just check it out pretty much. So right now, I'm on my way home. Everything's driving smoothly. It feels a little taller now. I think because they're technically spacers, but they're technically not spacers at the same time. So it's a little higher. I think it's like a half an inch higher. So I think it's officially leveled out now. Before it was kind of sitting a little. It was like the slide is barely noticeable. But I didn't even know how the fuck it was in level, because I'm like 4 inches in. I'm like really high up right now. But yeah, everything's good. We're gonna go ahead and test it off road. We're gonna test it on bumps in this video actually. So I'll cut to that right now. But as I was saying, the tools, the installation, you know, it's all there. I hope it helps. If you guys have any other questions about it, just let me know. You know, this is like my first time really being handy with anything. But yeah, like if you guys have any other issues or like any questions that where you're stuck on a certain part of the suspension, just let me know. I'll help you guys out. I did trial and error yesterday, 6 to 7 hours, but I got it done. Finished the other side in less than 2 hours, so that's really good. Yeah, with just normal tools, I kind of busted up my hands a little bit. But yeah. So that's the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. That was pretty much a breakdown of putting the suspension together, taking it apart as well. Yeah, and like testing it out in the dirt. We didn't do too much. On Saturday, I'll be posting another video maybe, or next week, where I'm actually like taking it hard through spots around my area, and from there I'll pretty much test it, refine it, figure everything out. I definitely need to get rear shocks though. because you definitely feel the difference in the rear. It's too slow in the back, so it's not compressing as fast whenever you're hitting a bump, which is something that I don't like. And also, if you're gonna run 37s, highly recommend getting pre-runner fenders or Raptor fenders. That's what I am gonna be end up going with, because you need a wider wheel well. Just you bottoming out so much. I don't really bottom out, but like to get the most amount of travel, let's say I hit a fat fucking jump straight down, my fender's gonna rip off. My friend actually told me that like that could happen, and then my fucking doors can get fucked up, my mirrors, everything. So I'm not gonna send it too hard until I get my Raptor body on. But for now, rides smooth. I like it. Definitely gonna Gen 2 is definitely better though, so that's what I'm gonna be switching to eventually. But for now, Gen 1 front, recommend definitely Gen 2 rear. Definitely Gen 2 rear, because you need it to compress quicker. I don't like how slow the front compresses. It compresses fast, but obviously not fast enough where, you know, it's like so smooth. And it gets rocky at times. But anyways, thank you guys for watching my video. I'll see you guys next week with another video. Oh, my hands are fucking full of anyways, I'll see you guys next week with another video, and thank you for watching again. So today we're here with Juan
and Trackhawk Daniel.
Fuck no, that's a Trackhawk?
Yeah, nigga, that shit's
oh
zooming.
fuck no.